Look, I think we try to take everything game by game, and we're trying to build a really competitive QBL program in the women's. So our expectation is to always win every game we play, and that doesn't change. So look, that's what we'll be looking to do for the remainder of the season, and hopefully we can find ourselves a spot in the finals. It makes a coach's life a lot easier when your best player is your hardest worker, and Mia Murray is the epitome of that. It's really cliche, but she shows up early, she leaves late, she works harder than anybody else, and she's really set the tone. And look, we only really had Michaela for a third of the season, but obviously she added a lot of experience and did a good job mentoring some of the younger guards. One of the biggest things that I sort of wanted to do when I took the position was make sure we were developing young players as well as being really competitive, and I think we've debuted about 5 or 6, including a number of girls that are still under 16s and under 18s. So everybody's played a role, and I think it's safe to say everybody's improved, so we're on track with that. Absolutely. It's particularly in the women's, the standard's absolutely fantastic, and particularly in the northern pool. It was only a couple of rounds ago that all 5 northern teams were the top 5 on the ladder. So that's a great standard for the league, and it's a tough position for us to be in the north, but it makes us show up and play every single week. So really happy with the standard.
Yeah, look, I'd like to think so. We have a number of guys that aren't in their best form yet, and we're working pretty hard with those guys, trying to get them to the best. You can't. It's very difficult to win finals without a form player, so that's a priority for us. Yeah, we're still learning. We're still moving forward. We expect to learn. You know, we got Townsville, we got Rocky, we got Mackay to go. We have a lot of easy games during the season, and they don't really tell us where we're at physically and mentally as a team. So these games against the North teams, win or lose, we'll learn a little bit more about where we're at and what we need to do. It's just a shame we have to wait so long in the season before we're playing these guys, because it just doesn't give you time to work on what you learn from those games, because you really find out where you're really at playing against a team from the north. So I'd much prefer to be playing them mid-season. But yeah, the answer to your question, yeah, I expect some considerable improvement before the finals. Well, I'll start with Dusty because it's easy. He's just in his own words, he gives us 20 and 10 every week in there. He's a consummate professional. You know, we use him as a good example of the players. We talk him up. Not that he needs our talking him up in there, but we try to get the guys to learn from him, watch how he goes about his business, watch how he prepares in there. And you couldn't ask for a better role model from one of your senior players than what you get with Dusty Reichert. So how you put a value on that, I don't know, but it's an unbelievably high value. So he's fantastic. Geoff is just a great competitor. We say, you know, certain people are good at certain things. Well, Ryan's just a good scorer. He finds different avenues to score. He can shoot the 3, he can penetrate, he's a fantastic finisher on the fast break. He can offensive rebound. He just finds ways to score. But the great thing about Ryan is during the season he can be up and down at times in there, but whenever we got a big game during the season or come finals, he's been our best player bar none in our big games in there. He delivers at a high percentage every time we play those good games. The other thing he does, and he does outstandingly well, is in those big games we give him tough defensive assignments. He laps those assignments up and he delivers. Aaron, he's just, it's a big call, but it's hard to see a more skillful player in this league, Jahal's Tapscott notwithstanding, but Aaron's an incredibly skillful player. Super quick, super fit. He's only short, he's only light, but he's strong as an ox. Very, very athletic. He's got a high basketball IQ. Aaron's probably our best shooter, not probably, he is our best shooter, bar none. He's in the gym every day. nothing that he does hasn't been rehearsed. He works on everything. The problem with Aaron is he's straight out of college. He had to play a fairly strict point guard role in college. He's a professional now, and he's learning how to become a professional. He needs to be more selfish in what he is. He spends most of his time working his butt off to get the ball into our key players' hands, but he's got to realise that he is also one of our key players and step up in core moments of the game and make sure he's delivering in there. He has the ability to do it. He turns it on at some point every game, and he's just done some incredible things in games. He's a magical player. I'd have him back in a heartbeat, so that tells you a lot about what we think of him. First of all, they are powerhouses. Rocky been in the last 7 grand finals. I'm not sure about Mackay, but they've been in at least 3 of the last 4, having won 2 of those as well, so clearly they are powerhouses. I've had the pleasure of going and watching both teams play. I watched Rocky play yesterday, very entertaining, very talented. I watched Mackay a few weeks ago when they were down here. Again, very good teams, and both teams are as strong as they were 2 years ago. We beat Rocky again last year, but Mackay were our masters. But this year, we expect to be very competitive with them. We're going up there to win. We're in this league to win the league. I hate losing. Most of the guys hate losing, so we'll be doing everything in our power to win those games. And a lot of our training thus far has been geared towards what we need to be doing to be competitive with these guys. And no disrespect to the other teams in the league, but early in the season we need to look at who we're most likely to be playing and have part of our minds geared on that in developing the sort of game we need to be able to compete or beat these guys. And we've been working on that, and we're comfortable with where we're going with that. So yeah, we're going up there to win those games, but my God, they're great teams and we really respect them in there.